Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Licensed to Roam. You can follow me on Twitter/X at Edward Stratman, and if you enjoy the video, would really appreciate a like, subscribe, and any comments as I get started and hope to grow the channel. Alright, for this analysis, I'll be focusing on Lamine Yamal's latest impressive performance as the 16-year-old's brilliant performance and strike powered Barcelona to victory over Mallorca, as his moment of magic proved the difference between the two sides. Although he struggled in the first half like his team, he really elevated his level in the second half to underline his class and show what a difference maker he is despite his young age. Obviously now he's up to 3 goals and 1 assist in his last 4 La Liga games and propelled himself to 13 goal and assist contributions this season, which has been nothing short of impressive. Obviously onto the analysis now, and you can just see where he obviously started on that right wing post. And then obviously the best place to start here is obviously his goal, which drew the headlines. Really smart piece of play, as he used that dribbling wizardry, that beautiful touch and control and body movement to just cut back inside on a dime to unbalance his marker, and that little shimmy gave him the separation he needed to hit that finish with power, placement and finesse, as he just got his body angle so good, both when he was dribbling and when he hit the strike, just to fire it into that top corner there. So just a testament to his quality and just how he's just such an immense player already. Just before he actually scored, there was a nice sider, almost a carbon copy there, except that one hit the bar. So he sort of gave him a warning shot, and then he sort of finished him off in the next stage, not that long after. So obviously in the first half, he was getting the ball a lot of the time, wedged against the touchline in a back-to-goal posture or side-on, so he could be pressed from his immediate opponent, which wasn't as conducive to sort of getting the best outcomes for him. But in the second half, he was receiving more in that open posture, sort of forward-facing posture, ready to do damage, ready to be isolated, and he obviously got support more from Koundé as well, and this is that 2v1 where he smartly draws the marker, then just threads a nice ball to the overlapping fullback there. So really started to get more involved and stamp his mark, and that was obviously the key aspect of it, just receiving in those better body postures and stances to wreak havoc. See another situation there where he's edged infield, drawn the marker, and he's allowed Koundé to push forward more and have that 2v1, which was their relationship was quite a good theme throughout this game. They dovetailed quite nicely to make space for one another, just to get dangerous situations going in the final third, especially with Mallorca packing that central area. Another situation where he was effective at drawing markers. Obviously, he draws the man there, and then he gets a 3v2, and he just threads the pass there. And there's that triangle there, and he's already off, ready to make a pass, ready to be the solution for his teammate. Just another way that he impacted things very cleverly there. Obviously, his drawing of markers and the ability to beat his man is always a key aspect of his game. And here he's straight off on the counter, done those little jinking runs infield with the feints and shimmies, and he's just so hard to stop. Defenders can't react quick enough, and he's got such great control of his body and the ball with those close touches. And then there he just opens up the field of play. Nice little pass to set the counter and the wheels in motion on life in that one. Obviously, this is more of a scenario we saw in the first half with that back to goal, which is a trigger for the opponent to press. In this situation, he used that to his advantage and found the free man, with Rafinha supporting the attack there to sort of weave around that situation if he couldn't do it in isolation. So that dribbling really came to the fore in the second half, and he has that composure just to not get overwhelmed by the situation, fire that really nice cutback into Phenom to create the chance. But yeah, just playing with a maturity that belies those years. Once again, sort of balance and just calm to still execute his actions under pressure. Obviously, the creating of the overloads and the timing of the runs was really important. And he obviously, in this situation, he's got off the blind side of his marker to create the 4 versus 3 and to be the free man. And as a result of this, he sets up the chance, which we just saw earlier, and just puts him into dangerous areas to do what he does best, and obviously unbalance the back line, and they're disrupted, and that creates spaces with sort of a flow-on effect there. So just a really nice passage to show another aspect that he brings to the table. So the overloads here, obviously that triangular 3v2 is a real feature, as it usually is for Barcelona, just to get some quality scenarios going in the final third. And then they can sort of use that to break down and just manipulate and to move the ball into situations where they can then unlock the defense. Even though they didn't quite get everything right in this game, it was still a pretty cool framework they created a lot of the time. Here's an example, a rare one in the first half, even receiving in that forward-facing posture, 2v1. And he's just so hard to sort of play against when he's like this, the isolation, and just he can do all the dribbling, the changes of pace and direction, smart little alterations, sort of the stop and goes. He's got a whole bag of tricks to really create space to shoot, keep dribbling, or pass, or even generate a foul for himself. So that's the kind of area you want him receiving in, where he can often do his best work. Obviously, the rotations with Rafinha while he was on the pitch were quite interesting. And you see just before this ball was played in, Rafinha's instructing him to go infield to occupy his position. He's pulled wide Rafinha, then Yamal has smartly gone infield, and he can occupy that dangerous sort of space between the lines in the half spaces on the move dynamically. So he's so hard to stop, as opposed to standing still, which is a lot easier for defenders to deal with. So he can receive the ball, and having scanned, he immediately knows what's ahead of him to create some really quality situations in the final third against the backpedaling, retreating defense there, who are also pinned with their own marquee assignments. This was a nice passage where he's just timed his run. He's sort of cheating a bit on the turnover there. Barca win it back, but he just times that run to receive the layoff perfectly, so it goes into his pass, so he can immediately carry that momentum forward and really hit them on the counter with great gusto. So sometimes you see players run ahead of the ball in that situation, but he had the presence of mind and timing to just hold it and then wait for it, and then he can scoop up that pass and be off to the races. Obviously, the way he pinned and drew markers was an essential element to his game, and here in this situation, that pinning of his marker has created that space for Lopez to get in behind. Obviously, Lewandowski's pinning his marker too in that situation, but yeah, the way he just still impacts proceedings just with his threat and his smart movement of knowledge that he's obviously going to be marked all the time, and just helps generate positive situations for others. Same situation here where he's out wide pinning his man, and Mark Gui just makes the run into the space there, and obviously Lopez has drawn his man out there too, and that sort of amplifies the situation for the striker to exploit. Another one where he's pinning his marker here wide, and then in this situation, Koundé sees that gap in the middle. Obviously, Mallorca's pretty well occupied there, so he just underlaps and blasts off a shot there, which was a pretty decent effort. But yeah, he just impacted in so many ways. This is just another classy little bit of ball work where he doesn't even need to receive the ball. He hits it first time. Brilliant through ball over the top to oblige the runner, just to really showcase his skill and just that he has it all. He's pretty close to complete player already. He can just do so many things that you wouldn't expect a player of his age to do that playing at a team like Barcelona. So there's sort of the heat map of his game, obviously occupying that half space and those wide areas so well. Didn't really probably get into the box as he would have liked, and it wasn't his best game, which he obviously was aware of, and so was his coach. But yeah, just that ability to have the moments, but also affect it to help his teammates have good contributions, even if he's not having his best game. But that second half, the goal contribution was immense, and just how he managed to pick up his performance level was really good. There's his touch map there, just once again showing the areas he was in possession, and obviously lost the ball quite a lot of times, but that's the kind of nature of a player like him, the sort of cavalier winger that's given a lot of license to dribble and to make things happen. There's obviously the average heat map sort of showing him pretty high up and just in that sort of infield areas, because he sort of blended his time between half space and the wing. And there's the pass connection map, obviously showing particularly that relationship with Koundé, which was a great source of sort of impetus for Barcelona on the night. Obviously, to round out his performance, 6 completed dribbles, 5 touches inside the box, 4 progressive runs, 3 shots, 3 accurate passes into the final third, and 2 shot assists. Just showed what a solid output he produced. Obviously, Xavi reflected on his performance after the game, saying it wasn't his best game for us, but he's capable of making the difference with ease. We've seen it today. He cuts inside, looks up to the goal, and sends the ball to the top bins. I get the similarities with Messi, but it just does not benefit him. Anyone who's been compared to Messi is lost. It's not good to set the comparison there. Lamine is left-footed too. He likes to cut inside, yeah. They might seem like flashes of Messi, but we are talking here about the best footballer ever, so better not to compare anyone with him, said Xavi. That was pretty well said, not to sort of overheap the pressure on the youngster who just continues to sort of stamp his mark and just prove why he's one of the most exciting young players in world football. All right, that's the end of the analysis. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Would really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video, and have a great day. Stay tuned for the next analysis.